Hey guys! This is a flower that I did all the time when I was like in grade school. And it's like a lotus flower. Some people call it a lotus flower and some people call it a water lily. Flower on top, and then it has the lily pad on the bottom. And I just did this one here. And it's just two of them back to back. Square sheet of paper. And you fold it in half. Okay, so you fold it in half both ways and unfold. So you have the center X, or the center cross, and you know exactly where the center of the paper is. Then you take all the corners and hold it to the center. All four corners. Then you want to again fold all four corners to the center. So you fold all the corners to the center again. You want to be somewhat precise so that it doesn't tear at the end. You want to fold this corner into the center one last time. So when you do things like this, it's not going to perfectly match up in the center. So it's more important that you have all the points lined up. Like instead of having these two sides touching, they're not going to touch ever just because it's too thick. It's more important to have them parallel. So the lines that you made in the beginning should always be pointing towards the center. Alright, then you flip it over. And one last time, you take the corners and bring it to the center. So now this time you have, so if you just observe the paper as it is now, you have the corners in once, twice, 3 times, right? And then on this side you're going to fold the corners in the opposite way. So this paper actually gets kind of tortured as you do this project. It's going to be wrinkly. You just have to deal with that. Okay, so now this is the fun part. This is the part where you could have some tears, but that's okay. Like this flower here has a couple of tears in it, but it's harder to tell once it's a finished product. Okay, so you put your thumb in the center here. Okay, and let's observe the paper again. So on one side you have one layer of the thick points coming into the center, and then it's just flat on after that one layer. On the other side, you have 3 layers coming into the center. So you want to work on the side where you just have the one layer coming into the center. So you put your thumbs in there, the corners, and you fold it in just a little bit. And I wouldn't really call it a fold as much as a bend. So you want to kind of curve it in like that. And it's not going to go all the way to the center. It's going to go like that much. Like the center's here. So it doesn't go all the way. Then you take your thumb and you hold it there. And then you take your other hand and you reach underneath. So underneath you're going to pick up, like that edge is going to come out. The little corner out there, it's going to come out. So there it's flush against the paper when your paper is flat. Then when you curve it in, that paper is going to come out. Then you want to grab that with your other hand and pull it upwards towards your other thumb. And while you're doing that, you want to take this thumb and push in the sides of the paper here so that you kind of get a curve to this petal. Like that. So you kind of have to manipulate the paper more than you would in other projects that I've shown. And then you take this and just curve it out like that, and that's a petal. That's one of the petals of the lily, the water lily. So then you do that on all 4 sides. And some of them are going to be easier than others. But as long as you just manipulate the paper so that it makes that that petal, it's not gonna rip, and it's not too hard. So the paper is pretty resilient. So if you work with the paper and make sure you don't try to bend it in a way it doesn't want to bend, then you're not gonna rip it. And like I said, even if you do rip it, it's hard to tell in the end product. And now you need the 4 in between all of those. So you want, if you look at the bottom, you still have another layer here of petals. So you do the same thing. It's a little bit different because you don't have any corners to flip up anymore. So you just put your thumb here on the edge, get the paper from underneath, and pull it up. And I'll show you from the other side. So it's just that flat edge, and then you'll have some resistance here. If you have your thumb in the right place over here, then you just push with your thumb and pull it up slowly. This is the point where you will get the most rips. Like right there you have a rip. But that's okay, it'll be covered up by the next layer. Okay, and then the last one, you just want to take this last layer. So this is one more layer, and then you just have a flat piece of paper under there. And then you just fold it out. So you don't have to pull it out that much. You kind of just pull it until you feel resistance, and then you can leave it flat. Right there. See? And then you just flatten it against the table, and then you can color that bottom layer green. So then you have the lily pad and the water lily. It's pretty neat looking when they're all together, if you put them together in like some sort of pond scene, or if you just want to put them on some stems. It looks nice this way too. So I'll see you next time.